Hey, what is happening? This is going to be a reading for the sign of Cancer for November 15th through November 30th. What's going on, Cancer? I like getting into your energy. I like the feel of the Cancer energy only because I'm a Pisces and you guys are definitely my sister sign, so I understand you guys with your emotional nature, the spiritual nature, the depths of the Cancer. The Pisces definitely can understand it. So let's get into the reading for you guys. Disclaimer, this is going to be a general reading, so it may not resonate with everybody, but if it does resonate with you, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, share, and comment on the video because I like to get comments from people when it kind of resonates, if it does resonate with you. If not, the other options also help me out a little bit. Cancer, so if it doesn't resonate with you, then definitely catch me on the next reading. I'm going to be doing a lot of them. And you can go back and read or check out some of the other Cancer readings that I've done for this month already. So let's go. Cancer, starting off, crowning your reading, we have the Ace of Cups. So that Ace of Cups energy is kind of representing some type of emotional fulfillment or an emotional offer coming in for you that is divinely orchestrated by the universe. That's what I'm feeling. And just to let you know, when I was shuffling your cards, Cancer, you guys had this pop out as the first card. You had a jumper. And to be honest, I never get jumpers with the way that I shuffle my cards. But this popped out for you guys, and I felt that energy, so I wanted to keep it. So congratulations for having the first jumper, Cancer. And this is a hell of a jumper because you got the Ace of Cups. So this to me is you kind of like taking on that energy towards the end of November, where you're tapping into your emotional side and you really don't care who what somebody has to think about it or say about it. I doubt if you're gonna have somebody kind of like having anything to say about you being yourself. If it is, then you already know what to do with them. You are a Cancer. But other than that, I think for some of you guys, this is you kind of taking on a different perspective, a different viewpoint when it comes down to seeing things from your emotional side. I think that a lot of times for us water signs, because we know how emotional we are, sometimes we shut off our emotions and we shut off the viewpoint that our emotions give us sometimes, to where we view the world differently as a water sign than other signs do, because we're deeply in touch with our emotions. So we can see certain scenarios play out in our life or certain circumstances we go through with our lives, and we'll come out with a lesson from that only we can learn because it affected us emotionally in ways that maybe it didn't affect some other people because they're air signs or they're fire signs or earth signs. So this is you kind of like taking stock, what am I talking about, taking stock on some things that are happening around you, or some circumstances that you're dealing with. And to me, it feels like you're switching up the way you look at it, the way you perceive them, and you're kind of like, well, you know what, this, I thought it was a curse, but maybe it is a blessing. Or just because you're being fueled by your emotional side, you could be looking at life in general as a total different ball game, because for some reason maybe the energies that are happening going into the end of November, we have a lot of different planets that are in transit and moving. I'm not that deep into astrology, but I do know that there are 8 planets that are in transit. I think somebody that is into astrology said that earlier today, and I kind of like caught a hold to it. So there's a lot of changes that's happening. And because those changes are happening, Cancer, I think for you, is affecting you emotionally in a good way, to where you want to bring your emotions to the surface right now. Maybe you feel safe enough to do that in the environment that you are in, or maybe the environment that you are in is kind of like pulling your emotions to the surface. Because to me, for you, Cancer, I feel like that hand has come not from the sky, this hand that's in the card, but it came from under the water, and it's bringing an emotional clarity from within the depths of you, Cancer, because I know that Cancers can have very deep depths when it comes down to your emotions. So something is coming up from within, within you, that is like bringing new light to a situation. It's allowing you to have some type of power with your emotions. I think some of you guys are learning how to use your emotions as a tool to help you, instead of something that fights against you. Definitely, because that is all about the evolution of a water sign. We deal with so many emotions that kind of put us in positions where we have those mood swings, or we just get knocked totally off track and off course in our lives just because we felt a certain type of way. So with you, Cancer, I think coming into the end of November, something is coming with from the depth of your emotions, and it's bringing some clarity in your perception. It's kind of the universe kind of like shining a light on the way you view your emotions, and the way you kind of like take action based on your emotions. And yeah, that's what I'm feeling for you guys. Let's see what the other cards are talking about. So right below that, we had the strength card. So you guys definitely, that's what I kind of like feeling with the Ace of Cups. This strength card could be you kind of like tapping into some inner strength that you have. Or for other guys, this could have been guys and gals. I just say guys a lot for some reason. But this could have been you kind of like taming, like I said earlier, that emotional side that you have. Like you wanting to tame the beast because you have very powerful, deep emotions. And when you let them loose, like things change, people can get offended, or it could just send you on a whirlwind, Cancer. So this is kind of like, this has been you maybe in recent times, kind of like just suppressing those deep emotions a little bit. Those powerful emotions, just kind of like keeping those on the back burner just so you can get some other things done in life, or focus on things that are more analytical and not take such an emotional approach to life, But with this Ace of Cups being right above that, I think that could be changing for you. You could just be wanting to let those emotions come to the surface now, those powerful emotions, but not in a way to where it will send you off of your course, off your path, and get you unbalanced, but them coming up to the surface in a balanced way, to where it's like you can use those powerful emotions to fuel you, to strengthen you, to give you a strength that not many people have, because they don't have emotions that can reach the depths as far as you can, Cancer. So that's what I'm seeing. For some reason, you're going to start capitalizing on your emotions, on your emotional base. Like you're fueled by those deep emotions, the emotional intelligence that you have as a water sign, as a Cancer, gives you the ability to do the things that you do. So you don't want to suppress those. And I don't think you have been doing it purposefully. You probably have just been doing it in a way to where some of those deep emotions, can kind of get you in the mood, or, send you on a whole tangent. And rather than deal with those, or how the deep emotions affected you in the past, you kind of could have just put some of those, down, tamed your emotions a little bit. But I think you're gaining a large amount of control of those powerful emotions, and seeing how they could be used to your benefit towards the end of November. And you're going to start going in a certain direction where you can, use those to your advantage. Right below that, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune signifies a cycle ending and a new one beginning at the same time. A shift that's happening, a karmic cycle that's wrapping up, and then another one beginning right on top of it. If you can see the angels, they're kind of like flipping the page. Everybody has a book. And so one chapter is ending, one scene of the play is ending, and then this Wheel of Fortune is kind of like the in-between moment of that scene ending. And when the curtains close and they end the scene, if you were behind the curtains, you will be able to see all the things that's being shifted and moved around so quick. That's kind of what could be happening with you, Cancer. Like everything is kind of shifting. Like one person is moving a piano over here, another person is hanging up some pictures, another person is like moving the couch that was just in the last scene. The actors are going to change clothes and change wardrobe. You know, the lighting is doing what they need to do. So all these different things that are happening around you that could just be changing because you have a new cycle coming in, you know. And but the people that are outside of the curtain, you know, the people that are in the audience don't know that you have all these things happening within you, you know. So I think, Cancer, you have a lot going on internally right now, a lot of things shifting, a lot of things taking place. Like that's kind of like and I think it has to do with your emotions. Like your emotional state is just shifting because you had a lot of emotional lessons that you had to learn in the past, is what I'm picking up. You probably had to take on a lot of emotional lessons that had to do with you dealing with your emotional karma or emotional baggage, you know, from this life or a past life. And so a lot of lessons came into your life that kind of brought about the triggering of certain deep emotions just to teach you how to balance those emotions. So you could have found yourself on an emotional roller coaster or going through these different emotional cycles that continue to happen. I like to see it as a person that kind of attracts the same scenarios over and over again until they, you know, learn those karmic lessons through your emotions. And a lot of lessons are taught, especially with water signs, through our emotions. So in the past, or maybe, you know, in this certain cycle that you've been in, you could have been in all these different scenarios that seemed like, you know, they were different scenarios, but it was the same lesson over and over again. So you could have had different people, places, and things, you know, coming into your life, but it seems like all those different lessons pointed to this, or all those different scenarios or circumstances that you were in pointed to the same lesson. Or the same lessons. And to me, if you ask me, I think it had to do with the way you balance your emotions. The way you can detach from your emotions in a way that you can start to use your emotions as a strength instead of considering them in a weakness. Because a lot of water signs, I think, sometimes fall into that, where we feel that we're so emotional and we see how other people are not as emotional, and then we can view our emotions as being a weakness, instead of looking at them as strengths. So, but once you go through all the different karmic lessons that your emotions attract to you, you start to see how your emotions are just a tool that you have, you know. So you can go to your emotions and consult your emotions about certain situations, but you don't want to totally identify with your emotions. Because once you start identifying with your emotions, then you become controlled by your emotions, you know? And then you stay on the emotional roller coaster where you go all the way up and you feel great when you have a great emotion, but then you go all the way down and have a bad emotion, and then that controls your day. So I think you're coming up on a time period where you're starting to balance those emotions out, you know, and your emotions are having a less effect on you in a negative way, and now you're going to start to be able to use your inner world that you have, your emotional world, to affect your outer world in a positive way instead of vice versa. You know, because your emotions shape the way you view reality, Cancer. And so this is what I was feeling with that Ace of Cups energy. It's kind of like your view on reality is shifting, and your perception is changing when it comes down to, you know, the way you feel about certain things, because our feelings can change the way we see certain things. Like, and I know us being water signs, we're led by our feelings, but a lot of times when it's negative emotions and feelings that we have, it can cause us to do something that may not be the best decision to make. So that's probably why some of you guys were taming some of those emotions, which is probably needed. Definitely, some emotions have to be tamed. The deep, powerful emotions, until you come to a place where you can balance them out. And I believe for a lot of you guys, that's what's happening with this Wheel of Fortune. It's like a new cycle opening up for you guys because you've learned so many things emotionally about yourself, about those deep, powerful emotions, and you've come to a place where you can tame them and balance them and use them to your advantage instead of them taking advantage of you. Moving right along, you have the Five of Pentacles right next to the Strength card and the Queen of Wands. So the Five of Pentacles represents somebody kind of being left out in the cold. And this could be what you were feeling this month, just kind of like that left out in the cold feeling. I think this popped up in your monthly reading or either your last week reading, Cancer, where you were feeling kind of like left out in the cold, somebody that feels abandoned or kind of betrayed or just left to do something on their own. And this could be, the reason why you have all these different feelings about your emotions because you feel left out in the cold when it comes down to a certain situation. So somebody could have left you out in the cold, or you could have left somebody else out in the cold. I feel like this is your feeling though, like you're just feeling left out in the cold in regards to a certain situation or a certain person. And this is why you're kind of taking on that strength card, the strength card to deal with that feeling of being left out in the cold. But that just could be a feeling that you have only because you have this shift that's happening. And when this shift is happening, like I said, so many things are being moved around. And if it's an emotional graduation for you or an emotional shift, where you become more aware of your emotions so that you can, like I said, use them to your advantage, then certain symptoms of that shift is you just feeling like, you're all alone, the woe is me card, where you're like, dang, why do I have to feel like this? Why do I have to have these deep emotions? Why do I have to feel like I'm in a emotional roller coaster or whirlwind or whatever? Why? Because it teaches you certain lessons with your emotions so that you can develop emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence a lot of times is way better than intelligence, because emotional intelligence has to do with other people, not just somebody being smart and being very intelligent and being able to read any book or quote some lines from some physic, some type of, deep intellectual. They're powerful too, but when it comes down to emotional intelligence, that's the other side of the coin. Emotional intelligence is the people that can read other people well. They can communicate very well with other people. They have great interpersonal skills. So they can become a powerful person when it comes down to influencing others, because they have that emotional intelligence. They can also be a great friend, or a great business person, because most of the things that happen in life have to do with other people. So when you develop that emotional intelligence, which us as water signs already have, like we're born with it, but when you go through such lessons, like these karmic lessons that came to kind of like take you to those emotional highs and then the emotional lows, and then you had to learn how to balance the two. When you master that, then you are a master of your emotions. And then that's a part of your self-mastery that you can use to win in life, to be successful, to have a more balanced life, to have a more, vibrant life. And I think that's what's happening for a lot of people that I'm doing the signs with. I'm feeling this type of energy where it's like a graduation happening, a coronation. I think I said that word right. But it's a graduation from one cycle to the next, and the last cycle had to do with a lot of lessons that we had to learn the hard way. We had to learn it through experiences that just sucked. And I know we would all rather not learn lessons, life lessons that way. Like, why can't the universe just come and tell me like, hey, this is the way you do this, don't do this? But it usually doesn't happen like that. It usually happens by us experiencing some negative shit, to be quite frank. And then us having to deal with the feelings, the thoughts, the effects of those negative experiences, and learning a lot about ourselves because we have that challenge or that struggle to get through. And then it levels us, it makes you level up to the next level. And I think that's what's happening for you, Cancer. Like when you carry that much emotional stress, that much emotional pain, and those deep hurts and wounds that you've had in the past, and then you get to a place where you start to heal from it and overcome it. The mere action of you healing from a deep hurt like that, it kind of gives you strength. It's kind of like what they say about a bone being broken. This is that broken car. When you break a bone, and it starts to heal back, they say that it heals twice as strong as it was before it got broken. Unfortunately, this is how life works. Like, I didn't make the rules. And it sucks to me too. But when you go through those type of energies that kind of break you down and leave you feeling broken and left out in the cold and betrayed and the deepest pain that you could feel as a person, and then you start to make the journey from that lowest depth that you've been in, back to a regular place. And it won't be regular, but it'll be a whole new place for you because you went that deep. It's kind of like that Dark Night of the Soul card where you went to the deepest depth and the lowest low that you can feel, and then climbing out of that hole for some reason makes you level up so strong that you come back like this. You come back as a royal person, a queen, a king. And yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to say for that. Let's move on to the Queen of Wands. So this is the transformation that's happening, the Queen of Wands, where you're going from a person that's out like this, barefooted, with crutches, with other people that are hurt and that are filled with pain, and you're on the outside of your blessings and feeling like you're on the outside of all the fun, and nobody knows what you're going through and nobody has it as hard as you. The transformation is you going into the Queen of Wands energy, which I think you're taking on with this shift, after this shift that's taking place towards the end of the month, that's already been happening slowly. It's just a reminder of that transformation that you have going on. You're taking on a more go-getter energy. Like I said, you're going to start using your emotions as powerful tools to enhance your life. You're going to start using all those lessons that you learned from that last karmic cycle to start building, to go forward with passion. You know exactly what you want and what you don't want now. That's what that queen is representing. And yeah, Cancer, that's what I'm seeing for you with these present energies. This transformation that's happening, this turning of the page, this end of one scene into the next scene. The next character that you're coming on as is the Queen of Wands. Sorry, and the Queen of Wands does not play. She's not the Queen of Swords, So she's not as like take no shit as the Queen of Swords is, but the Queen of Wands is so much about action and getting stuff done and being passionate. She's like the extrovert, so if you're coming from a time where you were kind of like introverted a little bit, you could be embarking on a new journey, a new cycle where you're going to start being more extroverted. You're going to start being kind of like, out there, the social butterfly that's kind of like influencing other people. Other people are attracted to you because you feel so good about yourself, and your emotions are kind of like lighting up the room everywhere you go. Those positive emotions that you have that's coming from that deep well within you that you're tapping into, that's coming up from the surface. is kind of painting you as that Queen of Wands energy, where people like they want to be around you because you're getting things done. You're just a fun people to be around. Like you're a positive person to be around, and people are like, "Dang, what's up? Like, what's up, Cancer? What's going on with you? Like, what's happening with you?" But the Queen of Wands is so busy in action that she can't even get caught up by, the things that don't mean her well, or the people that, don't serve her well. She's just busy building. So she doesn't even have time to get caught up in this type of energy, or people who have that type of energy. So I like that for you, Cancer. Let's go into your future energies. So we have the Empress, we have the Ace of Wands, and then we have the Two of Pentacles. So starting off as the Empress energy, this could be what you're also taking on in the future. The Empress energy is representing somebody who is fertile. She has fertility happening for her. When it comes down to something you're wanting to create, something that you're trying to build, it could come to you easily with this Empress energy. The Empress is magnetic, very attractive, very creative, artistic, intuitive, spiritual. So this is you. This is your energy, Cancer, that you're kind of like taking on. This is also a major arcana. So this could just be a universal energy that is surrounding you right now, to where you're feeling like you're ruling something. With the Queen of Wands and the Empress energy, this is somebody that's kind of like taking on that rulership, energy, where they feel confident in themselves. They feel confident in their life and their path. As you can see, the river is flowing from the back of her. Out of those trees back there, that's representing your emotions. So you have your emotions overflowing in a way to where it's fueling you to be creative, attractive, nurturing, powerful. This is like the mother of the tarot, is what they say. So you're taking on that motherly, role, when it could be, when it comes to other people, or that nurturing role, so people are attracted to you. Because of those positive emotions you have coming in for you. Voila. Right under that, Ace of Wands. So this is a passionate offer that could be coming into you. This could be something that you could have been waiting on. It could be coming from a job, a career path. This could be an offer in business. This could be an offer in love also. Because once you take on that Empress energy, the Empress attracts love. As you can see, the heart that sits right up under her throne, it's that power that you have once you become magnetic and you start to use those emotions that you could have been burying a little bit as powerful tools and weapons. Then you start to have some offers that come in. This could be for a passionate offer from a person. That could be possibly be a fire sign. Or this could just be a passionate new beginning that you're having in a certain role that you're taking on, when it comes down to your life, like I was talking about earlier, or a certain path that you're wanting to take, a new path that you're wanting to carve out for yourself when it comes down to your career or your life's path, your life's journey, or your life's work for some of you guys. Right below that, we have the Two of Pentacles. So this could be you making a decision about that offer that's coming in. Or this could be you changing your perspective from one way of seeing things, one cycle, changing your perspective into the next cycle, to where it's like, okay, I'm starting to see things from a different perspective. Or for some of you guys, it could just be you balancing some things, the balancing act. So this could be a balancing of your emotions, like I was talking about earlier, or just you balancing two major things that you're working on right now. This could be the balance between work and play, or work and a relationship, or work in a project that you're doing on the side, or a side business that you're trying to develop. This could just be you finding that balance between the two and trying to find that sweet spot when it comes down to balancing those two things. Yeah. Um, and I think you're going to have success in that only because at the bottom of the deck for you guys, we had the 10 of Pentacles. So definitely we all know the 10 of Pentacles represents that success in building the life that you want for yourself. The 10 of Pentacles to me is your vision board. If you ever made a vision board, or if you were to make a vision board right now, the 10 of Pentacles will represent everything that you have on that vision board. The perfect life that you see for yourself that you want to manifest. And with you taking on these new energies, you're definitely heading in that direction where you're manifesting the things that you dream of for yourself. The perfect relationship, you know, the family, the kids, the house that you want, the car that you want to drive, the place you want to live, all this different stuff. You can definitely have it, Cancer. You can definitely manifest it. You're a powerful manifester because you can tap into your deep emotions, and manifestation is mostly done through emotions. Like, your thoughts do play a part, but we all know through the law of attraction and through manifestation, you have to feel what it is that you want, and you have to feel it like you already have it in order to start to attract it. You have to be in that energetic field of the thing that you want in order to attract it into your energetic field. So that's what's happening for you, Cancer. That's your reading. I think you had the longest reading. And so congratulations to that graduation, to you learning those karmic lessons and moving on to the next phase of your life. It has been a hell of a journey for you guys. I know. That's what I'm feeling anyway. So yeah, that's your reading, Cancer, for November 15th through the 30th. If you like the reading, do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, share. Do anything to let me know that you're into my style of reading. And I'm going to be back in December doing another reading for you guys. Happy holidays, and we'll see you next time.